The war between good and evil. And I'm telling you right off the bat, this is going to be a weird but entertaining video. But when you're done watching, you'll have your feet firmly planted in the ground of where you stand in this old and grand battle. We all think we understand this war between good and evil, but do we? Is it a personal internal struggle between what's right and wrong? How does a person define what evil is and what is good? How does a culture define what's good or bad? Are there common themes in the great battle? And what role does symbolism play? Well, I don't know all the answers at the moment, but let's start our journey together and see what the fuck we can uncover. That said, the first reference was made in a religious context, the religion of Zoroastrianism, one of the world's first religions to reduce what was a pantheon of gods to just two gods, the god of wisdom and the god of destruction. But what Zoroastrianism really did was introduce the concept of duality, where good and evil are not part and parcel of the individual, so to speak, but two separate entities operating in the universe, which led right into the concept of free will, because you now had a choice. The good and the bad in you was not inherent, meaning you weren't born bad. You chose to be bad, or good, or in between maybe, I don't know. Which kind of expresses a common theme in the fight between those that are good and those that are evil. And that theme is one of human nature, the potential for both good and evil to exist in a person. But it's far from the only theme in the Great War. There's a fight between the common man, the individual, versus the collective, everybody else. And let's not forget the importance of your choice, because redemption is a factor. Of course, you and I fight this war every day, because the struggle to do what's right is a human struggle, because we often want to do what ain't right, because misbehaving is fun. But what I'm saying is, we all struggle with ethics and morality, and a lot of times, what's right and what's wrong is in the eye of the beholder. Now, of course, I do have to talk about moral absolutism, which is a view that good and evil are fixed concepts that are defined by nature or God. To put it simple, God says murder is wrong, so it's wrong. So is stealing a loaf of bread, even if it's to feed your starving kids. Then there is also moral relativism, which means that all your belief in what's good and bad is a result of your culture, custom, and perhaps your prejudices. An example is cows. In India, cows are sacred. Here at home, we eat the damn things. That's moral relativism. If you really want to be confused, there's also a compromise between absolutism and relativism, and it's called moral universalism. But of course, we all know killing people is evil, except for when it comes to war, and there is actually a theory called the just war theory, and that's a belief that killing people in a war is justified because the end justifies the means, which just means killing people during a war is better than being ruled over by the victors of that war. And I gotta wonder who came up with that theory and if it applies to innocent babies as well. But I think I know the answer, and I'll leave it at that. I've talked a lot about the individual and the fight against evil, but how is that fight defined in the different religions in today's world? With Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, there's a battle between God and some evil force, and for us Christians, it's Satan. In Islam, the evil is known as Iblis, who was cast out of heaven for refusing to bow before Adam. But the greater battle is against oneself, to always purify the heart and to practice good deeds. With Judaism, the conflict again is with oneself, the battle to do what's right, but the winner is God. In that God only wins if you succeed in your victory over evil. So no matter your belief system, the foundation of your belief regarding the battle between good and evil is rooted in it. But in my opinion, the real battle for right versus wrong, good versus bad, God versus the devil, is always personal, residing in each of us. And unfortunately, some of us get it wrong. And why that is, that just mystifies me and probably whatever God you believe in as well. This video, my friends, required some heavy damn thinking. Something I ain't used to. The war between good and evil. Hell, does it even exist, or is it only internal? Who knows? I don't know. But, you know, if there's a greater war going on, why am I a part of it? Why do I got to struggle with that shit between what's right and what's wrong? Especially when, like I said in the video, doing bad shit is a lot of fun. Okay, some bad shit. Doing some bad shit. Okay, you know what I mean. Who wants to be the good guy all the time? I don't want to be. But you know what? There's a lot of relationship between this video and the other video I'm working on about mysticism. You know, there's a lot of the same roots and a lot of the same foundation. Yeah, I guess they're maybe closely related if you go back far enough in time. But nobody today maybe realizes that, and that's what I'm here for, to point out these little history-making things that you need to know, and I don't have a fucking clue what I'm trying to say to you. I really don't. Maybe that's because I'm on the bad side of things. Sometimes I just go off on a rant, tangent, don't have a clue what I'm talking about. Yeah, and that's about the time my wife usually just gets up, walks away, and doesn't say anything, and I watch her, she just kind of slumps over and shakes her head in shame, and I apologize for that. But this was a fun video to do. I enjoyed it. Hope you did too. Give me a like, why not? Leave a comment, why not? I don't know. I'm out of here. Have a good one, my friends. Thanks for watching.